Good morning. So today we're going to discuss about the NLEP, that is the Leprosy Eradication Program, National Leprosy Eradication Program. Before that, National Leprosy Control Program existed. Since 1955, this NLCP existed, and in 1983, it was proposed to eradicate disease from the country as a goal. So that is the goal for the NLEP. And we will discuss about the NLEP components, major initiatives of NLEP, and for special activities. And the following procedures are as follow for the major initiatives, and that will be discussed. And some payments will be there as incentive for ASHAs in this program. And they have their own activities, ASHAs. And there is another component also there, Disability Prevention and Medical Rehabilitation, DPMR. And the DPMR services are carried out in three-tier system, you know that, primary, secondary, tertiary, that will be discussed. Then NLEP referral system is also there, that's also three-tier system. NLEP urban area is there, is especially designated. Then NLEP disadvantages and advantages. And urban services are categorized in 4 groups that will be also discussed. NLEP program implementation. So how the program is implemented, what is the strategy, and what are the activities, initiatives, so on and so forth. Then case detection and management of NLEP and some components of NLEP strategy, plans of NLEP, district leprosy cell, components of NLEP strategy, and especially for hard to reach areas and hilly areas. And another program, Sparsha, that is touch program, set scheme, IEC, BCC, NLEP, IEC and BCC, that is the information education communication and behavioral change communication. NGOs activities, non-governmental organizations also will be there. They will participate, and also public-private partnership also will be there. And how this NLEP in phased manner, it will be transmitted. So before going to that, you know that leprosy or Hansen's disease, Hansen is scientist after his discovery, it was named as Hansen's disease, is Mycobacterium leprae. It is slow growing, and also the incubation period is about 5 years, and signs and symptoms may arise 1 to 20 years. And what is the source? Is the nasal secretions, and also the nasal secretions spread by airborne, by sneezing and coughing. So we should be careful about that. Otherwise, by simple touch, it won't transmit the disease. So that is the basic idea of the NLCP and NLEP. Coming to the NLEP, it is a NLCP. It is a centrally aided program to achieve control of leprosy through early detection of cases, especially by monotherapy, that is the dapsone, on an ambulatory basis. So the vehicle will go and reach the patient in any area. Initially slow because of no clear-cut policies and no operational objectives. Then became centrally sponsored during 4th 5-year plan. So its inception is 1955, and Government of India declared it as NLEP, that is eradication, by the year 2000 AD. But eradication, you know, it is globally eradicated. That means whole globe, it should come to either 0 or specified, like 1 per 10,000, like that. But elimination is somewhat different. It is not globally, it is only regionally, but wide geographical area, like India. But it is named it as NLEP, that is Eradication Program, by 2000 AD. That is the Government of India declaration. Working group. So working group was arranged by Government of India, and they submitted its report in 1982. They recommended multi-drug chemotherapy. That is the another step from monodrug chemotherapy. So it aimed at leprosy eradication through reduction in the quantum, reduction in the source of infection, and breaking the chain of transmission of disease. So these three important points are there in the aim. In 1983, NLCP to NLEP was redesignated. So initially 1955 NLCP, 1983 NLEP. Actually, the elimination in 2005 occurred early case detection by early case detection and treatment. 1983 as NLEP to eradicate disease from the country is the goal is to eradicate the disease by turn of the century, to reduce caseload to 1 or less than 1 per 10,000 population. So one is disease eradication, another is reduction of caseload. NLEP establishment. World Bank supported the project in 1993, also 2001, 2 until 2004 year. Government of India with World Health Organization and International Federation of Anti-Leprosy Association, they took this technical support. Government of India took the technical support from World Health Organization and ILEP. The NLEP was integrated with general health services like three-tier system, like primary health centers and also district health centers and central health centers, like that. In all PHCs, leprosy diagnosis and treatment services are available in all government hospitals also. So these are the general health services. So what are the components of the NLEP? One is decentralization, another is confidence or capacity building measures. Capacity means the innate capacities or skills to be developed for the healthcare providers. And also intensifies IEC, that is information, education and communication. And also prevention of disability and medical rehabilitation is called as PDMR, prevention of disability and medical rehabilitation. Intensifies monitoring and supervision. These 4 or 5 areas from decentralization, confidence, the capacity building measures, IEC, and disability and medical rehabilitation. Prevention of disability and medical rehabilitation. Intensification of the monitoring and supervision. These 5 areas are the components for the NLEP program. So coming to the intensified monitoring and supervision, case load of leprosy, initially it was 57.6 per 10,000 population in 1981. But after the introduction of MDT, multi-drug therapy in NLEP program, the cases were reduced. In 2005, it is less than 1 per 10,000 at national level. So lot of gap is there. That's very good benefit by MDT. Government of India, because of Government of India introduction. Coming to the goal, the caseload of leprosy, goal. Achieve the elimination as set by the National Health Policy. But all other states reached or achieved except Chhattisgarh and Dadra Nagar. And the prevalence rate is achieved by Bihar, Goa, Chandigarh, Odisha. But the rate is more than 1 per 1,000 population. For special action during 2012 and 13, 209 high endemic districts were identified. So for these high endemic districts, some special actions were taken. And the activities are for the blocks and urban areas. 1792 blocks, 150 urban areas. Especially the activities include house-to-house survey, especially for any contact of leprosy is there, or new case is there. And identification of case, and also capacity building measures, CBM, capacity building measures for workers and volunteers. So coming to the major initiatives, the major or more focus is on new case detection because it has a lot of importance than prevalence. And the second one is treatment completion rate. So whether treatment is given or not, it should be completed, whether the monotherapy or MDT, monotherapy in NLCP, MDT in the NLEP, that should be completed. Treatment should be completed in time and full time. DPMR, that is the disability prevention and medical rehabilitation services to affected persons. The aid is dressing materials for ulcers. So ulcer kits will be given. MCR, microcellular rubber, footwear will be there with the microcellular rubber to protect insensitive feet because sensations are lost. Why sensations are lost? Because the nerves are affected by the Mycobacterium leprae. Because of the affected of the nerves, the foot and hands, they are insensitive for any injury. The injury may cause infection. The infection lead to insensitivity and also the insensitive organs, maybe especially digits and fingers, they will be absorbed into the body. So that may cause the very high damage. For that reason, microcellular rubber foot for footwear and for hands, they should be very careful, hand care and also foot care. They have to observe, especially hand care, they should wear the gloves better so that the injury will be diminished or less injury. Then the fourth one of the major initiatives, new case detection rate. I already told you, it is better than the prevention. Prevalence. New case detection rate, that is the new case, like an incidence. Prevalence is the cases at that point of time, maybe the month or year or quarterly or 6 monthly. So the new case detection rate is very important than the prevalence. Is a main indicator for program monitoring. So this is also a good indicator. Coming to the treatment completion rate, this is also very important. Unless the due time, within the time, whatever the time prescribed, maybe 6 months, maybe 12 months. 6 months for the passibacillary, 12 months for the multibacillary treatment. You know the drugs like rifampicin, clofazimine, and also other drugs. So these 3 drugs will complete the treatment as per the passibacillary or multibacillary. The emphasis being given on providing disability prevention and medical rehabilitation services to leprosy affected persons. The following procedures are as follows. Dressing materials, supportive medicines, ulcer kits, and microcellular rubber footwear to provide insensitive feet, reconstructive surgery services for the disability. So not only microcellular rubber, but also reconstructive surgery at the reconstructive surgery centers or any designated district hospital or medical colleges. For this, an incentive of 5,000 rupees will be given to leprosy affected person, especially below poverty line individuals, and also compensation of reconstructive surgery. Coming to the ASHAs, you know, Equity Social Health Activist, she has a lot of importance in this program also. They help the suspected leprosy patients from their villages, especially for diagnosis and treatment at primary health centers and also follow-up of confirmed cases for the treatment completion. So one is suspected leprosy cases for diagnosis and treatment. Another is follow-up of confirmed cases for treatment completion. These are very important points. And what are the incentives for ASHAs? There are around 3 to 4 incentives are there. One is rupees 250 to bring the confirmed case. And another is on completion of full course of treatment of case within specified times, like passive bacillary, multibacillary. For passive bacillary leprosy case, only 400, and the multibacillary leprosy case, 600 rupees will be given to the ASHA. Any early case, before onset of any visible deformity, so that's very difficult because before onset of visible deformity, so the payment will be 250 rupees, and after visible deformity, the payment will be rupees 200. The deformity may be hands or feet or eyes. Maybe eyes grade 1, grade 2. Some grades are there. One is grade 1 eyes without any damage to the, lot of damage to the eyesight. Whereas grade 2 deformity, it includes the 6 by 60, less than 6 by 60. And also counting figure also will be coming here. Counting fingers less than 6 meters they cannot. More than 6 meters only they can count. So these are the grade 1, grade 2. Then ASHA activities. What are the ASHA activities? One is search for suspected cases, follow-up of cases, and advise and motivate self-care practices by disabled cases. So search for suspected cases of leprosy before disability occurrence to stop transmission and prevents disability. So why they are searching the suspected cases? To stop the transmission and the disability prevention. These 2 points are important for the suspected cases. Then why follow-up of completion of treatment? Because in scheduled time, the case should be treated, maybe 6 months or 12 months. And also any symptoms of leprosy, refer to health worker and primary health center to prevent further disabilities. This is also another important aspect. And they should give advice and motivate self-care practices by disabled cases for feet and hands to improve quality of life. Why the advise and motivate self-care practices? To improve the quality of life and also to prevent deterioration of disabilities of the affected. To prevent the deterioration of disabilities of the affected person. So prevention of deterioration of disabilities. These are the another 2 important aspects. Suspected cases, follow-up and advice. Coming to the spreading awareness. So why the awareness should be spread? So do you know what is the International Leprosy Day? I think all might be knowing, everybody. It's the last Sunday of January for every year. This is the, and especially last year, they have put one theme. That is the, you can't know about the leprosy. This year, stigma and also prejudice and also discrimination should be reduced. So reduce the stigma, discrimination, prejudices. So that is the awareness. So in this context, I told you. So spreading awareness around 612 self-settled colonies, around 50,000 affected residents, free medical services, care of ulcers, self-care training, counseling, MCR footwear provide through paramedical workers and NGOs. So one is spreading awareness, another is free medical services. The next one is intensive IEC campaign with a theme of towards leprosy-free India. This IEC campaign towards leprosy-free India to reduce the burden of disease, early reporting of cases, complete treatment, provision of quality leprosy services, reduction of stigma and discrimination against leprosy persons. Then the awareness generation activities are there. Especially, it should be through the mass media and local media. Coming to the disability prevention and medical rehabilitation. So the disability should be prevented and appropriately they should be rehabilitated medically. This is the meaning of that. So implement DPMR as per guidelines and report the outcome. Example is treatment of leprosy reaction. Maybe leprosy drugs like rifampicin, clofazimine, and other drugs are there, dapsone. So with that, some leprosy reactions may be there. Ulcers may be there because of the injury. They don't care much about that. It may become an ulcer. Then physiotherapy, maybe muscle weakness will be there. Reconstructive surgery, because already some deformed limbs may be there. For that, reconstruction should be done surgically. And microcellular rubber also there for footwear provision, because it gives you a lot of protection. It's a microcellular. It is very thin and also protective and also comfortable. Coming to the integrating DPMR services, there are provision of services to persons with disability by various departments and various ministries. So they are integrated with the general health services and also other departments. That is the integration of the NLEP. NLEP with general healthcare services. And convergence of NLEP service into NRHM facilitates the integration. That is the National Rural Health Mission also will be clubbed with the NLEP. To develop a referral system to provide a prevention of disability service to all leprosy disabled persons in an integrated setup. That means three-tier system is there for us, primary, secondary, tertiary. So it should be referred from primary to tertiary and level. Then DPMR services are carried out in three-tier system as we discussed. Primary level, first level, primary health centers, community health centers, and subdivisional health centers, urban local areas, local centers, dispensaries. So these are all come under primary care level, first level. Coming to the secondary level, district health quarter hospital, and also district nucleus units. So these are the secondary level care or second level. Third level or tertiary level, central governmental institutions like CLTRI, Central Leprosy Training Research Institute, and also RLTRI, Research Leprosy Training Regional Institute, like in Aska, Gauripur, Raipur. CLTRI is located in Chengalpat, Chennai. So tertiary levels are for DPMR services, other than the CLTR and RTR. ICMR is there in the ICMR Institute, JALMA in Agra, and ILEP, that is the International Federation of Anti-Leprosy Association, supported leprosy hospitals, medical colleges, departments, and PMR, that is the Disability Prevention and Medical Rehabilitation Institutes. The other support units are medical college orthopedic and plastic surgery departments, identified NGO institutes, and Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment National Institutes. So the referral system is as follows. One is a sub-center, primary health center. So sub-center level implementation and referral will be there. So self-care advice will be there implemented, advice to RCS areas, reconstructive surgery areas, and monitoring of the care should be done at the sub-center level. And also referral, if there is any reaction, they can do, they can treat. If they cannot, they have to refer to the primary health center, sub-center to primary health. And disability also should be referred to primary health center. At the primary health center level, implementation will be done, like manage reactions or refer to higher level, identify or refer patient needing reconstructive surgery and footwear, that is microcellular rubber footwear, to the higher centers. Then advise to RCS cases, reconstructive surgery cases to for further management or any problem to higher centers. Advice to self-care. These are all implemented at the primary health centers. But whereas referral from the primary health centers, one is lepra reaction difficult to manage, and another is complicated ulcer, and third is eye problems like maybe grade 1, grade 2, and reconstructive surgery cases, persons for footwear, and follow-up of reconstructive surgery, lepra reactions due to any other drugs. So these are the referral to the higher centers like district hospital. At the district hospital level, implementation will be done like management of complicated ulcers and also management of leprosy reaction. These two are very important at the level of the district hospital. And at the district hospital also referrals will be done, especially refer difficult ulcer care. So if they cannot manage at that level, it should be referred to the district nucleus unit. At the district nucleus unit, implementation of the management of lepra reaction and also supply of footwear. And if they get the referral from the district hospital, if they manage, it's all right. Otherwise, they have to refer like reconstructive surgery cases, follow-up of reconstructive surgery to the reconstructive surgery centers. At the reconstructive surgery centers, implementation will be done like reconstructive surgery cases, follow-up of the reconstructive surgery done, supply footwear to district nucleus. So they in turn supply the footwear to district nucleus from reconstructive surgery centers. So this is the NLEP referral system. Coming to the advantages and disadvantages. What are the disadvantages by the referral or NLEP urban? Non-availability of infrastructure like primary health center. In urban areas, primary health centers are not there. Manpower is limited, and to provide services up to domiciliary level very difficult. And services through individual level only, that too one by one, and very difficult to coverage. Non-continuous health services by multiple organizations in urban areas. Unlike in rural, many organizations will be there, like Lions, Rotary, and also other organizations. And they will be doing the same service in multiple ways. So there's a multiple organizations in urban area, and continuity won't be there. The service continuity won't be there. So what are the advantages of the urban NLEP? More number of cases are detected due to migration of people. So easy to diagnose because fresh people will come, they will attend to the centers, urban local centers, and easy accessibility and institutions with good quality services. But treatment is incomplete. Whereas in rural areas, the treatment is complete. So in urban areas, the total 4,388 as per census 2011, and localities are 524 are identified. Each 1 lakh population, for each locality, 1 lakh population will be covered. These urban areas are categorized into 4 areas. So 4 categories of urban areas are up to 5 lakhs, say town and city population, 1 lakh to 5 lakh, and medium city population, more than 5 lakh to 1 million, that is 10 lakhs. Mega city, more than 1 million to 4.5 million. And other areas like more than 4.5 million population are there. So certain areas are there for 432 areas in town and city population, medium city population 53 areas, and 34 areas are in mega city. 5 areas or with the 4.5 million. Coming to the program implementation plan for 12th period, 12th plan period, that is 2012 to 13, 2016 to 17. Disease exists as 15% of country with endemicity. The leprosy disease exists as 15% country with endemicity. But of course, India harboring about half of the caseload of the global population. Almost 50% cases are there in India. So that is also another big issue for that, even though we declared NLEP. Coming to the elimination of leprosy, prevalence rate is less than 1 case per 10,000 population in all districts of country. So this is the plan, program implementation plan. And strengthen disability prevention and medical rehabilitation persons affected by leprosy. That is the DPMR. They should strengthen DPMR. They should eliminate leprosy to the tune of less than 1 case per 10,000 population. And reduction in the level of stigma. So the theme is also stigma, reduce stigma, prejudice, and also other discriminations. So some of the contents of the program implementation plan of NLEP, like targets, program strategy, case detection and management, components of NLEP strategy, Sparsha, Sparsh is touch, Sparsh leprosy awareness campaign, and set survey, education and treatment scheme, incentive to patient, and also incentive to ASHA, IEC and BCC, ILEP. ILEP means International Federation of Anti-Leprosy Associate Program or Association, NGOs, non-governmental organizations. Coming to the targets of the program implementation plan. What are the targets? So one should have a target time bound. So coming to the NLEP targets for the plan period 2012-13 to 2016 to 17. And with indicators, of course. What are the indicators here? And what is the baseline? What are the targets? Here indicators are prevalence rate and also ANCDR, that means annual new case detection rate. ANCDR. The third one is CR-MBLC, that is cure rate multibacillary leprosy case. And CR-PBLC, that means cure rate bacillary leprosy case. The fifth one is grade 2 disability rate. Already told you, grade 2 disability is counting figure. They cannot count figure less than 6 meter distance. And also their vision also affected. That the normal vision is 6/60. So that's also affected, grade 2 disability. This is an important indicator. Coming to the stigma reduction. So the people should know it is just by touch, it can't spread. The only secretions, maybe nasal or mucosal secretions, that will spread by moisture of the airborne. So that should be told. So simply by shake hand or touch of the patient, it won't. So these are the indicators. Coming to the baseline, districts are there, baseline districts, and also for the multibacillary and passibacillary, 90.56% is the baseline, and the passibacillary 95.28% bacillary, and the grade 2 disability rate 3.04%. Stigma reduction is less than 50%, or the percent reported by NSS, that is the National Sampling Survey. Coming to the prevalence rate of less than 1 per 10,000, it is 84.6%. 84.6%. It is a baseline. The target is 100% prevalence rate by March 2017. Then ANCDR, that is less than 10 per 1 lakh population. That is the annual new case detection rate. It is baseline is 69.3%. That is the 2011 and 12 baseline. And target by 2016-17, it is 100%. And multibacillary leprosy case cure rate, it is baseline is 90.56%, and target is more than 95%. And cure rate for passive bacillary leprosy case, it is 95%, whereas the target is set at 97% and more. That is at 2016 and 2017 year. Grade 2 disability, 3.04% 2011 and 2012 year, but at 2016-17 year, it is less than 35%, 1.98% only. So disability rate is increased. That means of the grade 2 disability rate. Whereas stigma reduction, it is less than 50% over the reported by NSS. Percentage reported is NSS 2010 and 11, less than 50% over the percent reported by NSS. Program strategy. What is the program strategy? There are around 5 strategies are there. One is the ILEP services should be through the general healthcare system. The second one is to identify the new leprosy cases by early detection and complete treatment. Third is ASHA should be involved in the detection and completion of treatment of leprosy cases on time. So this is very important. So detection and treatment completion. And strengthen the DPMR services, that is the disability prevention and medical rehabilitation services. So that is the fourth one. The fifth one is the carrying out household survey for contact leprosy cases for early detection of cases. So these are the 5 strategies for the NLEP. And the case detection and management. So due to stigma associated with the disease, people are not coming forward to get the tests, especially for diagnostic tests. So that should be focused, case detection. Then detection of new cases at early stage to cut down the transmission of potential in the community. So one is diagnosis, another is after diagnosis, the transmission can be cut down by appropriate treatment. Also to protect the leprosy affected persons to prevent the disabilities. So the person who is detected, the person should be prevented from the disabilities by appropriate treatment and appropriate care. So this is another one, case detection management. And what are the plans for the case detection and management? The plans are to improve access to service and to involve the women, including leprosy affected persons, in case detection. So one is accessibility, another is women involvement, another is organization of skin camps for detecting leprosy patients while providing services for other conditions. So if you say skin camps, any skin patient may come with patches, without with or without loss of skin sensation, other eye problems. So they will be detected. That is the idea of organization of the skin camps. To undertake contact survey, to identify the sources in the neighborhood of each child or multibacillary case. One case is there in a village, maybe an adult or a child, that too multibacillary case. So contact survey will be very, very useful, the neighborhood of that case. That is this side-by-side houses. So that is the idea. Then to increase awareness through ANM, Anganwadi workers, and also ASHA to motivate leprosy affected persons for early reporting to the medical officer. So any case, any signs, symptoms, or any other involvement, they should come to the medical officer of primary health center or any other medical person. Coming to the integrated leprosy services through all the primary healthcare facilities, especially for technical support and for quality of services. Team of dedicated medical officers and paramedics to the primary health system are applied at district is called district leprosy cell. So at the district level, district leprosy cell will be there, and primary healthcare and medical officers and paramedics will be there. This will be supportive to the district leprosy cell. This is a three-pronged strategy. This district leprosy cell is a three-pronged strategy in NLEP from 2016 to 2017 year. What is the three-pronged? That is the three ways, three useful methods rather. One is leprosy case detection campaign. It's called as LCDC. So we should make a campaign about the leprosy case detection. Another is focused leprosy campaign. So one is leprosy case detection campaign. Another campaign is focused leprosy campaign for household survey, especially either village or urban. And even one case of grade 2 disability for 300 household will be enough. So for every 300 household contact, one case of grade 2 disability is really good. That means a lot of cases may be there in future. Special plan for hard to reach areas, that is for difficult locations like hilly areas, tribal areas, and distant areas, cornered areas. So this is very important. So one is two campaigns are there. One campaign is leprosy case detection. Another campaign is focused leprosy campaign. Another plan is hard to reach areas. These three are very important. Coming to the components of NLEP strategy. NLEP strategy components at the district leprosy cell. Already we discussed about integrated leprosy service through all the PHC facilities to rural areas. Team of dedicated workers. Three-pronged strategy. This is at the district leprosy cell. Coming to the components of the NLEP strategy. One is leprosy case detection campaign, LCDS, and focused leprosy campaign, LCDC or FLC, and a special plan for hard to reach areas, already discussed. Then SPARSH program. SPARSH is touch, especially to eliminate leprosy. This is a SPARSH leprosy elimination campaign, year-long, till 2nd October 2019. 36 states were covered. Especially this SPARSH leprosy awareness campaign 2017 through Gram Sabha, through Panchayat, village health and sanitation campaign. It is a memory of the Mahatma Gandhi, and he is dedicated to leprosy care for the leprosy patients. And the aim was to generate awareness and also stigma reduction of the leprosy, and also discrimination of the leprosy patients, to increase self-reporting of cases. So this is the SPARSH. SPARSH is usually will be carried by health worker or an Anganwadi worker or ASHA. They will go to the villages. They will touch the skin with cotton or any other brush without any sharp objects to know the touch, so that is there any nerve component is damaged or preserved. If it is damaged, they don't know about the sensations, they become insensitive. That may lead to future injuries by any objects, or hard objects, maybe sharp objects. That may lead to insensitiveness and loss of limb due to the absorption of the limb into the body. So it's not just like a dropping of the any limb or part of the limb. The fifth one is the SPARSH leprosy elimination campaign. It was conducted in 60% of tribal villages across India up to 2018 year. So 60% tribal villages across India. Early diagnosis, appropriate treatment, completion of full course will prevent disability due to disease leprosy. there are three aspects are there. One is early diagnosis, treatment should be appropriate, and full course of treatment should be given. It should be completed so that the disability due to disease of leprosy will be prevented. That is the idea. Then leprosy is curable with MDT, multi-drug therapy, like one is rifampicin, clofazimine, Dapsone. And other drugs are also will be given like minocycline and ofloxacin. For single bacillary lesion that was given, for multibacillary, this MDT should be given, must be given. Complete cure of leprosy, prevention of deformities, and stoppage of transmission by MDT. So what is the idea of giving MDT? Cure leprosy and prevent deformities and stop transmission. One is transmission, another is prevent deformities, another is cure the leprosy. These are the three useful ways by giving MDT. Sparsha. So, you know that leprosy is also known as Hansen's disease. In order to pay homage to our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, on his 150th birth anniversary, Central Leprosy Division, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, is committed to achieve the new cases with grade 2 disability less than 1 case per million. So that is the aim of this partial leprosy is grade 2 disability should be less than 1 case per 1 million of population. That is the idea. You know, World Leprosy Day is last Sunday of January every year. It focuses on the target of 0 cases of leprosy related disabilities in children. Leprosy is curable and treatment in the early stages can prevent disability. So, disability can be prevented at early stages. Now, SET scheme. What is SET scheme? Survey, Education and Treatment Scheme. Especially NGOs like PPP, that is the public-private partnerships. They are presently involved in SET scheme in disability limitation, prevention and ulcer care. So, limitation of disability, prevention of disability, and also care of the ulcer, and also referral of suspected cases through IEC, that is Information Education Communication, and referral for RCS. So referral of suspected cases and also referral for reconstructive surgeries at the centers. And also research and rehabilitation. So research can be done, but further maybe, so far vaccine has not come. Vaccine has not come. So maybe in future it may come. And rehabilitation properly, and also any other reconstructive surgery, advanced techniques for that research will be done. And follow up under treatment cases in urban locations in difficult to reach areas. So this is the another use of the SET scheme. Then incentive to the patient, rupees 8,000 to be paid to the each case undergoing reconstructive surgery, paid by the district leprosy officer, and RCS centers around 115 government. Coming to the IEC and BCC scheme. IEC strategy during the 12th plan period. What is IEC? So not only giving information, but also educate them, but also communicate properly so that their behavioral changes will be appropriate towards the disease prevention, disease identification, disease treatment, completion treatment, and also they should know how the disease, so where is the source, how is the transmission, how to break the chain of transmission. All these things should be like an awareness program through IEC should be given. Focus on communication for behavior change in general public against the stigma and discrimination against the leprosy affected persons. And public should aware about the MDT. So there is a good treatment is there, multi-drug therapy. So that by using of the multi-drug therapy, the both multibacillary, especially very serious and severe disease will be cut out. Then correction of deformity, not only the disease, but deformity through surgery. that the leprosy affected persons can live a normal life. And for this, support will be there from the regional and central level institutes, central leprosy institutes like RTRI, Regional Training and Referral Institute, Chennai, and CLTTI, Central Leprosy Teaching and Training Institute, Aska, Raipur, Gauripur. Then also IL, International Foundation of Anti-Leprosy Association agencies also there. And around 10 agencies are involved in as a partner of NLEP. The agencies are Leprosy Mission, Damien Foundation of India Trust, Netherlands Leprosy Relief, German Leprosy Relief Association, Leprosy India, ALES, AFO, Fontilles India, AERF India, American Leprosy Association. Just for the sake of agencies, you should know around 10 agencies are involved in this and supports the NLEP. These all agencies will support in the NLEP in planning, monitoring, supervision, and confidence, capacity building measures of general healthcare service staff. So capacity building by training and teaching. Then IEC as awareness, provide RCS techniques and also surgeries, reconstructive surgeries, and also socioeconomic status rehabilitation of persons affected with leprosy appropriately, and supports 36 NGOs who are for RCS for disability correction. And also 54 NGOs are getting grant in aid from Government of India under SET scheme. So what are the NGOs activities? Maybe a small short note may come. NGOs activities in NLEP. NGOs serve in remote, inaccessible areas, urban slums, industrial and labor population, and other marginalized population. So marginalized population is vulnerable groups, and also below poverty line, maybe women and child, maybe disabled, maybe old age people. But usually the leprosy will come below 15 years people only that will be affected. Usually above 15 years and 20 years, very, very rarely affected. So that's the one aspect. IEC, prevention of disability, information, education, communication, should give the information about the how to prevent the disability, and case detection and referral. The population, the people should cooperate with the health staff in case detection and also referral of the cases to further organizations and agencies or governmental bodies. Coming to the follow-up of for treatment completion. So this is very, very essential, whether the treatment taken appropriately or daily or monthly. Rifampicin will be given like monthly once, and clofazimine as per the doses and the days, and also dapsone also, if it is for the multi-drug, multibacillary leprosy. So follow-up is very essential, not only for that, and if there is any disability, early case detection of disability, and also visibility deformity. For all these things, follow-up is very, very essential for the case. Phases of transmission of NLEP. How the transmission of NLEP took place from high burden of country to low burden of country, from partially vertical program to integrated program. Initially, it was a vertical program like tuberculosis. Now, in an integrated program with general health care services. From increased coverage, aim at quality services and sustenance. So, initially, they want to cover the as long or as much as possible population or areas, maybe urban or rural. Now, they are concentrating also on quality of services and also their sustenance, not only giving at one time, but it should be continuous sustenance. So one is coverage and another is quality. Then from centralization to decentralization, not only at state level, it should be at district level and also some district nucleus units also it should be established. That's the decentralization. And also everybody should be trained. Every healthcare personnel should be trained. And also about the teaching methods and also self-care methods and also identification methods about everything about leprosy. So we have completed the NLEP, and any questions you can ask if there is. And also some of the RNTCP questions are also there. I think in next class, we will club these two together, NLGP and also RNTCP. So that sufficient time we will find and will clear all the doubts, both RNTCP and NLGP. Good luck and read well. Thank you. Questions అడుగుదామంటే టైం ఉండలేదు 5 minutes ఉంది ఎంత టైం ఉంది ఇంకా
5 minutes ఉంది సార్